If you want to beat the Ravens, stop their run, and you run the ball against them, keep Lamar off the field, you win. And Cleveland did that the first game here last year.
Kind of give us an idea. What's the news out of Baltimore today as this Wednesday gets rolling?
News, there isn't any news, which is a good thing. I mean, this team, they actually think they're going 16-0. I mean, they're not cocky, but they're confident. And they believe they have unfinished business. And the whole day today is all they talked about was, we're glad the season's here. It's time to get started because they're hungry. And they had a disappointing season a year ago. They went 14-2. They kind of bombed in the playoffs. And they were at home field advantage, and they lost. And now they're on a mission. And that's all they talked about during the entire offseason. And that's their focus. And probably I've covered this team ever since they came to Baltimore. This may not be the best team, but it certainly is the most focused and most disciplined team.
What is different about Lamar Jackson this year? How has he gotten better? How has he improved? What can we expect to see from Lamar?
I think you'll see the same thing you saw last year, but the hope is, and we've seen it so far, is that he's throwing the football outside the numbers better. I mean, basically, if you could come in and shut down their running attack and make Lamar throw the ball, you could beat him. And you saw that in the playoffs because he threw the ball 59 times, and there's no way Lamar needs to throw the ball 59, 60 times a game. He's more in the 25 to 30 range, which means their running game is going, and then he's successful. He can throw the long ball, but he's not consistent outside the numbers, so they went out and they brought in a lot of speed. They emphasized him getting the ball down the field, and we've seen it so far in practice. But, again, we haven't seen it in preseason because there are no preseason games, so we'll see Sunday, that's for sure.
We know about their ability on the ground. Tell us a little bit about the weapons they have outside.
Those receivers can fly. Fastest group of receivers the Ravens have had in the history of this team. I mean, Marquise Brown, who's a second-year player, had injuries at Texas, at college, at Oklahoma. And then he comes here, and he's kind of struggled. But he still had a pretty good season for a rookie. And then they go out and they draft the guy, Devin Duvernay. He's another guy who can flat-out fly. You'll see this team, and it kind of fits into what they want to do with Lamar overall. Short passing game, a lot of yards after the catch, hitches, slant ends, those kind of things in the rounds. That fits into the scheme here. But also, Miles Boykin is the second-year big guy from Notre Dame. If he plays well, they might be onto something because they don't have that big physical presence on the outside. But overall, speed-wise, this team can get after it. And you could talk about the kid Dobbins from Ohio State, the running back. Put this down. If Ingram gets hurt, Dobbins will become the starter, even though they list him as number 4. This guy can play. He will become the starter, and he can catch out of the backfield. So he becomes a major commodity in this offense. But they can fly, and again, they still have tight end Mark Andrews.
What are these guys thinking about Baker as they head into this game?
Don't let him get hot. If he gets hot and gets in that streak, he can beat you. But if you force him to struggle a little bit, where he's kind of thinking too much and a little inconsistent, then you can beat him. And that's the key, and to get him out of his spot. I always heard people say he could throw on the run. I haven't been that impressed with the way he throws on the run. I think he can move, but I don't think he can throw on the run. They want to move him out of the pocket, and they're going to attack that offensive line. And I think they'll tackle him at the left tackle position. I think they'll blitz him a lot. And the Ravens are one of the top listed teams in the National Football League. I think they're going to stay with it. They're not going to change that up.
Mike, have you made a prediction for this season yet?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Am I putting you on the spot?
That's a tough one. If the Ravens, if they stay healthy, and that's for just about any team, you can say it for any team, but just a good football team. They know where they want to be. They know how they're going to get there. for the past 2 seasons, they've made progress, even though they haven't won a playoff game. But they've gotten further and further in the postseason. I think they can go 13-3. I mean, if you look at the AFC North, no one knows about Cleveland right now. 8-8, 6-10, just on the looks of things. You look at the Bengals; they're rebuilding. Pittsburgh, what do we know about Pittsburgh? I mean, Big Ben is back, but so what? Is he the old Ben or is he just an old Ben? Which one is he? We don't know. You go over and look at the schedule where they play the NFC East. There was only one team over there with a better than 500 record last season. So it can happen. I think next to the Kansas City Chiefs, and until the Ravens beat the Chiefs, and they haven't done it in 2 years, the Ravens are the second best team in the AFC.